So this may be a little out of context, but am I the only one that feels like there are some people in this world, just enough, that think of racism as if it is a fine wine? It's not. It is not a fine wine. It is closer to some milk. And we are way past the expiration date. Salutations, friends. My name is Brianna Bond, otherwise known as No Ordinary Scholar, and don't mind me, I'm just going to be working on another one of these videos here. You'll have to see it's about police. That's all the other hints I'm going to be giving you. And for right now, I just want to talk about this new post, which I'm really just going to be talking about it, gabbing about it, have a little chattings about it. You can see the full post, the actual, No Ordinary Scholar-esque post on the actual website, which I swear on my life I have been updating. And otherwise, let's go ahead and get into the shenanigans. Maybe it's love at first sight. Have you seen... I'm a cat now. That's fine. Have you seen, this chick? She went around Facebook for the longest time because everyone was going off on her for saying that she didn't want to date outside of her race. I thought you said that whole opening bit about racism was out of context. This chick is obviously racist. Coco, she's not racist though. She's not. She's kind of right. Now, let me explain myself. I'm just gonna have this cat here for a while. Let me explain myself when I say that. So, this woman, she didn't bash on any races. She wasn't saying she wanted to date a white man because white men are better. She didn't say anything like that. If she had said, I don't want to date black women because I want my baby daddy to stay around, that would have been racist. If she had said, I don't want to date Asian men because I don't want my baby to be better at math than I am, that would have been racist. But she's just saying she doesn't want to date outside of her race because she wants her kid to look like her. And realistically, since that's the only reason why she says she doesn't want to date outside of her race, she's right. That's what happens. That's genetics for you right there. Now, let's talk about genetics for a little bit while I pretend that I'm actually getting any work done. So, genetics-wise, if you were to date someone and produce a small human with somebody that looks like you are that a little bit more likely to have a child that also looks like you too. And that's because if here, I have examples, I can use examples. If this pin and all of the things that make this pin, it's a pencil. God, I'm so tired. If this pencil and all the things that are used to make this pencil were to be mixed with this pencil and all the things that are used to make this pencil, these pencils are very much the same. So they have a lot of the same things involved. So there's a good chance that their little pencil is going to look very much like these two big pencils. I know that's not how pencils are made, but you don't know. So it's fine. But if this pencil and all the things that were made to make this pencil tried to have a little pencil with this pencil, some weird stuff is going down because this is wood and graphite. There are metals and springs and I don't even know what this little cap thing is, tin or something, which is still a metal, but this is that's dents right there. Some weird stuff is going to come out of these two pencils. And I know that's very very juvenile way to put it, but basically, yeah, if you have two blonde-haired, blue-eyed people, they're very likely to produce a blonde-haired, blue-eyed small creature. But if you were to mix two different-looking people, like me and that blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy, there's going to be some swirling. Everything colors are going to mix, red and blue don't still make red kind of thing going on right there. And I know I seem like I'm very uncomfortable talking about this, and this is really just because I am trying to defend the losing side here. There's no good way to say that yes, this is factually correct, because everyone is already so determined to say racist, because race is involved. They're saying that this person's problem, this concept is the problem, and then I become a problem because I'm trying to say that that is not the problem here. But there is something to be said about the fact that you're saying this and you still feel so disgusted. So if you feel that way, there's no way that you can just sit there and tell us that this person isn't wrong. Oh baby, oh child, oh sweet thing. I'm not saying that she's not wrong, I'm saying she's not racist, because she's not. She's using logic, like if we're looking at it, and I can go through these really quickly because these are definitions that I need to use in the actual piece to try and get the point across. We have the definition of racism, which is a prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against someone of a different race based on the belief that one's own race is superior. There's discrimination, the unjust or prejudicial treatment of different categories of people or things, especially on the grounds of race, age, or sex. And then we have prejudice, a preconceived opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience. I use all three because all three of them kind of cycle back to each other. She has reason. She has genetic science reasoning behind this decision that she's making. She's not attacking anyone. She's not saying that anyone is bad. She's not saying anyone is better. She's not being racist. She's being shallow. Yeah, that's why you get that gross feeling in your stomach when you start talking about this. It's people attach to the concept of racism because racism is just that hot button issue. Racism is just that word that gets everyone. So you see racism, and yeah, you think immediately, oh, she must be racist. She's talking about race. She's being shallow. Because let's be honest. Do you really think this is the only thing she's looking for in a guy? She's only looking for someone, because if you saw the actual post about her, she was blonde-haired, blue-eyed, pale skin. Do you think that's all she's looking for? No, she's probably looking for someone fit, someone smart, someone funny, someone brave. She has, like, I'm sure she has, like, an entire list. Like, she's got a list this goddamn long about just all the things she's looking for in her dream guy. And I know this because everyone has, maybe not that long, but everyone has some kind of list. Some people want someone that's funny, people want someone that likes Marvel. I personally wanted someone that wouldn't make fun of my little philosophical website. We'll see how that goes. But everyone has some kind of list. And I'm sure she does too. I'm sure she's looking for several things in a potential mate. But yeah, people are still going to feel kind of grossed out when they hear that. Because realistically, that's not how love works. That's not how falling in love with someone works. And that's what you presume, that's what you would want for someone who's having kids, who's getting married, having kids. You would want them to fall in love and provide like a loving, like very healthy, safe, comforting, protective space and environment for that child to grow up in. You don't want that kind of superficial, oh my god, he looks good, that's perfect kind of thing in a relationship. Yeah, a lot of the times in real life, you actually do just you don't fall in love specifically with someone's looks. Admittedly, that tends to open up the door a lot of the times because you don't see their personality right away. You see how they take care of themselves. And everyone has a different opinion about what they like. Everyone has a type. Every type has someone that loves that type. But then, when you start talking, you get to know like their personality, you get to know their morals, their beliefs, their hopes, their dreams, and that's really what you really start to fall in love with. So realistically, she is going to find someone, she's going to completely forget about that long list of things that she wanted because she found someone that has all of the other things that are much more important in a relationship than just, do you look like me? Are our children going to look just like me? You're going to fall in love with that human being in their totality. That's usually what happens. But And there is a but. There's always a but. But there is the chance that she's going to stick to her guns on this. And she's only going to ever end up marrying someone that is blonde-haired, blue-eyed, and follows all of the other things, which, good luck to her. Congrats if you were able to find someone that fit all of those guidelines, because again, a lot of the times, like, maybe he is blonde-haired, blue-eyed, but maybe he isn't, like, super, like, Calvin Klein model fit, and maybe he doesn't want to start going to the gym for this chick. Like, you usually aren't going to find someone that fits all those guidelines and stay in those guidelines, because all the other things you love in a human, they want to keep true to themselves, and sometimes your guidelines don't fit that, and sometimes they don't really care about you enough to try. So good luck to her if she finds that guy, the guy who's willing to stay within the lines for her. And yeah, then maybe they'll find a way to love each other in that superficial love lifestyle. Okay, but what if she does follow that superficial route, and then she goes off and has kids, and then those kids grow up with those superficial beliefs now? Like we said before, the ideal is that people fall in love and have like a real love, connection, hope, faith, all that good stuff to raise a child in. And yeah, she does decide to continue with this, like, and hold super true to the superficial, I want my man to look like me so our child looks like me, then there is the possibility that that will be the environment that the child grows up in. And that can be an issue, but it's really hard to think that's going to be such a major issue, because the fact of the matter is that child's going to be have two paths themselves, which are very similar to the mother's path. And path A is, like most people, you kind of just get thrown into the real world, and you're like, Mom, what were you thinking? That's so stupid. If people weren't able to grow up and just kind of see the world differently than their parents, then we would probably still be back in, like, the racism days of, like, slavery times, because there were people who genuinely could not accept the idea and could not believe that black people were full human beings. That was a true belief to some people. And then a couple generations came by and they're like, Papa, sit down, stop. But then the same thing kind of happens with love. That's why nowadays people are able to have people are able to have same-sex marriages, because we don't believe the same way that our parents do. We grow, we change from the ways that they used to think. Same thing should really stand true for someone who's like, hey, I only want to date within my race, has a child, but Mom, like, he's super cool. He's like the coolest. He's like, if this was candy corn, he's a Sour Punch straw, Mom. He's a Sour Punch straw. Hashtag not spot. Kind of grow. A lot of people will grow and just kind of not follow the same hard beliefs their parents have. You kind of just throw True Colors by Cyndi Lauper at them and they'll figure it out. But then there is the other path, the path where this child can also be very strict with the guidelines and the rules, and he has to look like this and all that stuff. What I say for that is, thank you so much for listening. If you want to keep hearing more from me, hit the subscribe button, as well as check out my Instagram, Facebook, and OrdinaryScholar.com, which link is down below. Everything has been updated. Everything is continuing to be updated. I swear you can find like a full, very well thought out, and a little less Chatham's, but definitely more direct in the points and stuff like that on that website for this post right here. It is going to be titled, maybe it's Love at First Sight. Go ahead and check it out. And if you haven't got your copy of I Hear Colors, it's on Amazon. So that link is also going to be down below. So you can go on Amazon.com and be like, hey, Brianna wrote this awesome book, so I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna read it. It's gonna be great. We're all gonna have fun, and then you're gonna like tell your friends all to buy it too, because that's what a good person does. And then if you really like what's going on here, please consider checking out my Patreon account. That will also be linked down below. But until next time, Valedictions, friends.